You know that feeling when you're sitting at your kitchen table, coffee going cold in your hand, and you're looking at your bank account, and something just feels off? Not wrong exactly, not catastrophic, but off. You're making more money than you ever have. Your career is stable. You've got some savings tucked away. Maybe you've even hit a few of those milestones people talk about, paid off the car, built up an emergency fund, started contributing to your 401k. You're doing the things you're supposed to do, and yet there's this quiet feeling, this sense that the money isn't going as far as it should, that somehow, despite earning more, you're not really getting ahead. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's there. Like trying to fill a bucket that's got a tiny hole you can't see. I spend a lot of time thinking about money and why certain moments feel heavier than others. And I've noticed something that a lot of people don't talk about, something that tends to show up right around your 40s. Though it can happen earlier or later, depending on how life unfolds for you, it's not a tax in the traditional sense. The government isn't sending you a bill for it. There's no line item on your pay stub. But it's taking from you all the same, quietly, consistently. And if you're not paying attention, it can cost you years of progress without you ever really noticing. By the time we're done here, I think you'll see it clearly, not in a scary way. More like finally understanding why the room feels cold and realizing, oh, the window's been open this whole time. Once you see it, you can do something about it. And honestly, that clarity feels like a weight lifting. So let's take a walk through this together. No rush. Just let's look at what's really happening. Your 40s are this strange financial season. You're not young anymore. Not in the way you were in your 20s when you could sleep on a friend's couch and eat ramen and call it adventure. But you're not old either. You're somewhere in the middle. The pressure's different now. You've probably got responsibilities. Maybe kids, teenagers even, which comes with a whole different kind of expense. Maybe aging parents who are starting to need help. Maybe a mortgage. Maybe a career that demands more from you than it used to, and you're trying to figure out if this is what you'll be doing for the next 20 years. Here's the thing nobody really tells you. Your 40s are when your expenses tend to peak. Not your income might still be climbing. But your expenses? They're hitting their stride. College tuition are saving for it. Healthcare costs that are starting to creep up. Home repairs on a house that's not new anymore. Maybe you're helping family members financially. Maybe you're finally trying to live a little, take that vacation, fix up the house, buy the slightly nicer version of things because honestly, you've earned it. All of that is normal. All of that is life. But what happens is this. You end up in this place where you're earning more than you ever have, and yet you're not saving like you thought you would. The gap between what comes in and what goes out feels narrower than it should. And you start to wonder if you missed something along the way. You didn't. What you're experiencing is what I call the hidden tax of your 40s. And it's not just one thing. It's a collection of small, quiet forces that add up to something significant. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a question, and take your time with it. Do you remember what your life cost 10 years ago? Not in a detailed way. You don't need to remember every grocery bill, but think about the big things. Where you lived, what you drove, how you spent your weekends, the kinds of things you bought without thinking twice. Now compare that to today. I'm willing to bet your life costs more now, a lot more. And not because you went wild or made reckless decisions, just because life expanded. Slowly, naturally, you moved to a bigger place because you needed the space. You upgraded your car because the old one was falling apart and this one is more reliable, safer, better gas mileage, and okay, yes, a little nicer. You started buying organic groceries because you care about what you're putting in your body now. You got a gym membership, a streaming service, or three, better internet, maybe a yard service, because who has time to mow the lawn every week? None of those things are bad. None of them are frivolous. But here's what happens. Each of those upgrades becomes the new normal. Your baseline shifts. And once it shifts, it's really hard to shift it back. That's lifestyle creep. And it's one of the quietest taxes you'll ever pay. Think of it like this. Imagine you're walking through a forest, and every 100 feet or so you pick up a smooth stone because it's beautiful and you like the way it feels in your hand. Each stone is small, light, barely noticeable. But you keep walking, and you keep picking up stones, and after a few miles your pockets are heavy. You're tired. You wonder why the walk feels harder than it used to. It's not the path. It's the stones. Your expenses are the stones, and the hidden tax is the cumulative weight of carrying them all. Now, I'm not saying you should drop everything and live like you're 25 again. That's not realistic, and honestly, it's not necessary. But it's worth asking yourself, which of these stones do I actually want to carry? Which ones am I holding on to just because I picked them up once and never thought about it again? Because here's the thing. Every dollar you spend on something you don't really value is a dollar that's not working for you. It's not growing. It's not building your future. It's just gone. And over the course of 10 years in your 40s, that adds up to a lot of gone. Let me tell you about something I've noticed. When you're in your 40s, you're surrounded by people who seem to have it all figured out. They've got the nice house in the good neighborhood, the new cars, the family vacations to places with clear blue water and white sand beaches, the kids in private school or traveling soccer leagues or whatever the expensive thing is that signals success in your circle. And look, maybe some of those people really do have it figured out. Maybe they're financially solid and living well within their means. That's possible. But here's what's also possible and more common than you think. They're drowning. They're financing the lifestyle. The cars are leased. The vacations are on credit cards. They're paying off over months. The house is mortgaged to the hilt. They're living paycheck to paycheck at a six-figure income because they're trying so hard to look like they've made it. And you sitting there at your kitchen table with your coffee, you see what they're showing the world, and some part of you thinks, maybe I should be doing that too. That's the invisible pressure, and it's a tax you pay in stress, in debt, in years of your life spent working to afford things that don't actually make you happier. I think about this a lot, about how much of what we spend money on is actually for us, and how much is for the image we're trying to maintain. Not even consciously, really. It's just this quiet sense that we should be living a certain way because people like us live that way. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone a performance of financial success. You don't have to prove you've made it by driving a certain car, or living in a certain zip code, or taking your kids to certain places. You really don't. What you actually owe yourself is a life that feels calm and sustainable and aligned with what you actually care about. And I know that sounds simple, maybe even obvious, but it's not easy because the world is constantly telling you that you need more, bigger, better, nicer, newer. And if you're not careful, you start to believe it. That belief costs you not just money, time, energy, peace of mind. That's the hidden tax. Okay, let's talk about something that's a little harder to see, but just as real. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar you're not investing for tomorrow. I know it. That sounds like the kind of thing a financial advisor says while showing you a compound interest chart. And maybe it is. But stay with me for a second, because this isn't about guilt or shame or feeling bad for buying the occasional latte or whatever. This is about understanding trade-offs. When you're in your 40s, you're sitting in this interesting moment in time. You've probably got 20, 25, maybe 30 years left until retirement. That's still a lot of runway, but it's not infinite. The clock is ticking a little louder now. And here's the thing about investing in your 40s. The money you put away now still has time to grow. Not as much time as when you were 25, sure, but enough. Enough to make a real difference in what your 60s and 70s look like. But if you're spending everything you make, if your expenses have grown to meet your income, and there's nothing left at the end of the month, then you're paying a different kind of tax. You're paying the tax of missed opportunity. Think of it like planting a tree. If you plant it today, in 20 years, you'll have shade. Fruit maybe, something that's grown into itself and provides something back to you. But if you wait, if you keep saying, I'll plant it next year, or I'll plant it when things settle down, then in 20 years, you'll still be standing in the sun wishing you had shade. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm really not. But I do think it's worth sitting with this question. What am I giving up by living the way I'm living right now? Maybe the answer is nothing. Maybe you're in a great place, and everything you're spending money on is truly worth it to you. That's wonderful. That's the goal, actually. But if you're like a lot of people in their 40s, the answer might be more than you realized. Here's something nobody warned you about with enough emphasis. Healthcare gets expensive in your 40s. Not catastrophically necessarily, not all at once, but slowly, steadily, it creeps up. Maybe it starts with needing reading glasses, Then it's the dental work you've been putting off: crowns, root canals, the kinds of things that cost thousands of dollars, even with insurance. Maybe your knees hurt now, or your back, and you're seeing a physical therapist. Maybe you're on a medication or two for blood pressure or cholesterol or thyroid or any of the dozen things that start showing up in your blood work. Or maybe you're healthy, genuinely healthy, but your insurance premiums are higher now. Your deductible is higher. Every checkup, every test, every prescription, it all costs more than it used to. And if you've got kids, well, they're getting older too, and they need braces and sports physicals and therapy maybe, or ADHD medication or whatever their particular needs are. None of this is unusual. This is just life in your 40s. But it's a tax, a hidden one, because you don't see it coming as one big bill. It trickles in, 100 here, 500 there, a couple thousand for that procedure your insurance only partially covered. And it adds up. Over the course of a year, over the course of a decade, it adds up to real money that's leaving your pocket money you didn't necessarily budget for because you were healthier 10 years ago, or your kids were younger, or you just didn't think about it. I think the thing that gets me about healthcare costs is how invisible they are until they're not. You know, like you don't think about it when you're 30 and you go to the doctor once a year for a checkup and everything's fine. But in your 40s, the body starts asking for maintenance, and maintenance costs money. So if you're sitting there wondering why your budget feels tighter than it used to, even though you're making more, this might be part of it, the hidden tax of keeping your body running. Let me ask you something else. Are you helping someone financially? A parent maybe, or a sibling, a grown child who's struggling to get started in a world that's more expensive than the one you entered, a friend who's hit a rough patch. If you are, you're not alone. A lot of people in their 40s end up in this position. You're earning enough to help, so you do, because they're family, or because you care, or because you remember when someone helped you once. And this is just what you do. And I'm not going to tell you that's wrong. Helping the people you love is one of the most human things you can do. But it's also a tax. Every month you send money to help with your mom's rent, or your kid's tuition, or whatever the situation is, that's money that's not going towards your own future, your own stability, your own retirement. And here's what makes this one so hard. You can't really say no. Or you can't, but it doesn't feel like you can. Because what are you supposed to do? Let your mom struggle? Let your kid drown in student loans? There's no easy answer here. There really isn't. But I do think it's worth being honest with yourself about what it's costing you, not to make you feel guilty, just to make you aware. Because you can't make good decisions if you're not looking at the full picture. Maybe the answer is to keep helping, but to set clearer boundaries. Maybe it's to help in a different way: time instead of money, advice instead of cash. Maybe it's to have a hard conversation about what's sustainable for you in the long term. I don't know what's right for your situation. Only you do. But I do know this: you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're giving so much to everyone else that there's nothing left for you, that's not generosity. That's self-sacrifice. And it's a tax you're paying with your own future. So here we are. You've seen it now. The hidden tax. It's not one thing. It's a bunch of small things that add up. Lifestyle creep, social pressure, opportunity cost, healthcare, caregiving, all of it pulling at your income. Quietly, steadily, year after year. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, okay, great, now what? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to fix everything all at once. You really don't. Start with awareness. Just look at where your money is actually going. Not in a judgmental way, just with curiosity. Like, I didn't realize I was spending that much on that. Because you can't change what you can't see. Then ask yourself this question, gently. What do I actually value? Not what you think you should value. Not what other people value. What do you value? Because once you know that, you can start making choices that align with it. You can let go of the stones you don't need to carry. You can stop trying to keep up with people who might be drowning. You can set boundaries around caregiving. You can redirect some of that money toward your future self, the one who's going to be really grateful you did. And look, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about cutting everything fun or meaningful out of your life. It's about being intentional, about making sure that the life you're paying for is actually the life you want to live. Maybe that means downsizing the house. Maybe it means driving the same car for a few more years. Maybe it means saying no to some things so you can say yes to the things that matter more. Maybe it just means being a little more mindful about where the money goes. Whatever it is for you, it's okay. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just in your 40s, in a world that's really good at taking from you quietly, and you're learning to see it. That's growth. That's progress. I think the hardest part about the hidden tax of your 40s is that it makes you feel like you're failing, even when you're not. You're working hard. You're doing the things you're supposed to do. And yet, the numbers don't look the way you thought they would. But here's what I want you to know. You're not failing. You're navigating one of the most expensive, most complex decades of life. You're carrying more than you probably realize responsibilities, expectations, people who depend on you. And you're doing it while the world keeps asking for more. That's not failure. That's life. And the fact that you're here thinking about this, asking questions, trying to understand that already puts you ahead. Because most people never see the hidden tax. They just keep paying it, year after year, wondering why things feel so hard. You see it now, and now that you see it, you can do something about it. Not all at once, not perfectly, but slowly, steadily, like planting a tree or painting a picture, one careful decision at a time. Your future self is out there waiting, and every choice you make now that's aligned with what you actually value, every dollar you redirect toward what really matters, that's a gift you're giving them. So take a breath, be kind to yourself, and just start where you are. The path forward doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be yours. And honestly, that's enough.